why does it matter so much to us as employer organisations? Okay, and Maria kind of mentioned that in the introduction, and I think it matters for three reasons. These are the sort of measures of a successful employer organisation that a company called Kellen, they're a consultancy that do a lot of work with international employer organisations, and they come up with these three tests. There's three things that make a good employer organisation, okay? The first one is power. So power. So yes, you're doing a lot of stuff, you're doing a lot of activity, but are you actually changing things? Are you making a difference? Are you having an influence? So that is a big test for us all as an employer organisation. Do we have real power, or are we just doing stuff, okay? And I would suggest that communication is a big part of that. How we influence debates often comes around how we communicate. So power is one. The second one is legitimacy, which is very interesting actually, because you can have really good arguments, but if I'm a politician, if I'm a journalist, I'm like, well, who are you really representing? Are you just representing big businesses here, you know, with your agenda? Are you representing the wider business interests? Okay, so legitimacy. So what that means for us as employer organisations is we need to make sure we have a strong membership, don't we? Because that gives us credibility, that gives us legitimacy. And again, one way that you get a good, active, strong membership is through good communication, isn't it? Internal communication, bringing people to us, making sure we have a solid base. And the third one, which is perhaps not an obvious one, is this idea of urgency. Urgency. Too many employer organisations, they say, are too slow. We don't react quickly enough, okay? And again, urgency, again, is interesting when you think about communication, because it comes back to, it's not always planning things long time in advance. Sometimes, how can we react quickly? So if we've got time at the end, we'll talk a little bit about crisis management. How do we communicate when things are going wrong? And sometimes you have to react very fast. If a journalist rings you and says, I want a comment, you can't say, could you ring me next Monday when I've had the weekend to think about it? No, you need to react very quickly. So that idea of urgency is also important. So I would suggest that these three big tests that lots of people use to establish the value or the strength of an employer organisation, communication is key to all of those three components.